Hello everyone, I am Sai Charan and welcome to my YouTube channel, and I am going to explain you about the multiple processes and multiple threads. So what actually the process mean? So we can easily understand through this presentation where uh, the better understanding of the multiple processes and multiple threads can be happen here. So in this presentation, I'm going to explain you all about the process and threads differences. So we know that the thread is a small unit of the execution program, but what actually the process mean? When we are executing a program, the instance of the program execution can also be called as a process. Where in this video we're gonna uh, see about the differences, what are the advantages, what are the challenges faced by both the processes and threads. So coming to the definition of the process, what actually the process is, when we are running any program, internally an instance of the program is created, that is called as a process, where this process is going to have its own memory space and its own execution space, where the content of one process cannot be leaked to the another process. That is what actually the feature of this concept of process is. So there will be the self-contained environment is gonna created by the process, and its own memory space is created by its own, and the resources present inside one process cannot be shared with the another process. That is what actually this processes will be used for. And in each process the address space is created by its own. That means, for example, there are two processes are there, and the address space for both processes will be different, and the information in one process cannot be known by the another process. One process is independent of another process. So while we are executing one process, the execution will be done very separately. That means we can say that independent execution is going to happen over here. And resource isolation, that means whatever the resources present in one process will not be shared by the another process. So there will be the thing where we are preventing the resource of one process from another process. So the special feature of this is security. That means as it is having this feature, it is very able. It is having very capability of maintaining the security of the resources present inside it. And coming to the definition of the thread, we know that the thread is a small unit of an execution process where multiple threads can be executed in single process. That means in one process there may be the presence of multiple number of threads, and these threads will be having their memory as same. That means every thread has its own stack, but every thread utilizes the same heap area. That is what actually happening over here. And coming to the shared resources, thread within the process will share the same memory space and the resources. Means let us assume that in a process there are five threads, and these five threads will be using the same heap area and same memory space, but they are executing separately, we using their respective own stacks, but all are present in same process. And concurrency will be happen. That means threads enable concurrent execution. That means allowing multiple number of tasks to be run simultaneously. And key differences are there between the processes and threads. The differences are as follows. That means when the resource is present, resource can be anything like data or anything. Inside the process, whatever the data is there, that cannot be shared by the another process. But it's not going to happen with the threads. In the threads, whatever the data or resource is present in one thread can be shared with another thread. And memory space, in processes there will be having their own independent memory space, but in threads, concept of threads, the memory space will be shared with each other. And communication between the processes is complex. There will be the presence of communication that is called as an inter-process communication, but it will be a bit complex or complicated than compared to the threads, because the threads are going to having direct sharing. Coming to the creation of the cost, in order to create a process or establish a multiple process environment, we need high cost, whereas it is not going to happen with the concept of threads. And context switching, there will be slow context switching between the process, whereas it is very fast between the threads. And what are the advantages of the process? This process will be providing the robust mechanism. That means, for isolating and protecting the resources, the best choice is utilizing the processes, because they will be helping us in the concept of security and the context of resource isolation and stability maintenance. That means the process are relatively stable and less prone to crashes because they are having very they are complicated and having the high security, and the information cannot be passed to another process. They are very stable compared to the threads. And coming to the threads, the advantage of the thread is executing multiple number of tasks simultaneously, and the performance of the when we are using the threads, the performance of the execution will be improved very drastically because multiple tasks or multiple operations done it simultaneously is very good as compared to the one by one execution takes very less time, and responsiveness will be very fast coming to the processes, and resource sharing also very good in the context of threads. And there will be the challenges faced by the processes and threads also. Coming to the challenges faced by the processes, the communication will be very less because as they are very independent, as they are having the independent memory space, and the information cannot be shared with the other process, the communication will be a bit complicated compared to the threads. And the resource management means managing the resources between multiple number of processes is very challenging because in the context of security they are very strong, and as they are maintaining the stability, we cannot be able to manage the resources between the multiple number of processes. Coming to the synchronization, coordinating the execution of multiple processes can be difficult, and there is a chance of error. Coming to the challenges faced by the threats, so there will be some challenges. Though the threats are offering us efficiency, they also present challenges to us, such as synchronization and maintaining the deadlock potential, debugging complexity like that. So threats can encounter the conditions such as data corruption. If they access and modify the shared data without proper synchronization, there may be chance of challenging because the information can be changed, because that is not the correct way of maintaining the consistency. And coming to the deadlock potential, the threads can become the deadlocked if they are continuously waiting and the access is denied continuously when they are waiting for the another through complete it execution. So that is what actually I mean to say regarding this differences between the processes and threads, which is multiple processes and multiple threads. So thank you for watching my video.